Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast. This is We Are Bagu Season 1, Episode 22, Super Mario Bros. 2. If this is your first time checking out the podcast network, please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And with that said, on to the podcast.
We Are Bagu.
Hey everybody, welcome to We Are Bagu, a video game podcast. This is Duck. I'm here with
Dr. E.
What is We Are Bagu?
What is We Are Bagu,
A
Doc?
video game podcast. We talk Atari to Steam and everything in between.
Everything?
Well, hopefully, yeah. We've talked about quite a bit of stuff. And today we're going to be drinking and talking. Last cast, we did Ethan's probably favorite game of all time. Is that right?
Yeah, that is number one for right now.
100% Persona 5 Royal. He gave us all explaining it. If you haven't played it yet, go play that fucking game. Go listen to the podcast because it made me want to play the game. And even if you never play it, Ethan broke it down beautifully from the beginnings to the rape to how the game
What is with you and just attaching to like the worst part
man.
of
There's so much rape in that fucking game, dude.
But we're going to talk about Ducky Son's Persona 5. Ducky Son's number one.
Yes.
The game that the Duckster dude just loves to death.
Yeah.
What are we talking, Ducky Son?
My number one is actually a number 2 and possibly a number 3, however you want to look at it.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, well, you've already read it in the title. You're here to listen to me wax philosophical about Super Mario Bros. 2 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. The American release, mind you, and that's what we're going to get into, because everyone knows this on the internet. It's not a secret anymore. Mario 2 is a copy and paste job, but in a wonderful way. So I want to talk about my history with the game, and we'll get into the development history, and we'll talk a bit about the game, too.
That's what I want to ask you about first, man. Yeah. Where did this obsession with Super Mario Bros. 2, of all things, start? Why the second one, not the first or third or one of the many other Mario games? Why the second one?
You're right. Why am I obsessed with the second game? What many would consider the worst in the series. Okay, I would say it's because...
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, a lot of... Yeah, Mario Sunshine.
Oh, fuck you. Well, according to Will, those are the worst.
All 3D games are the worst. Which we like. So yeah, Mario 2, where does my obsession come from? It's great. When I was 4 years old, I beat the game for the first time. I was at my cousin's house. She had a Nintendo. We're playing it. She's telling me where to go, how to do stuff, how to get to the last level. And I got to Wart at the end and chucked the veggies in his mouth and totally won. And I'll never forget whenever I got to the end. Whenever I threw the first vegetable in his mouth, she said, "That's what happens when you don't eat your veggies." And I remember being like, it's hilarious. My cousin's a crackhead now.
So your cousin went from trying to get you to eat your veggies
to a crackhead. It's terrible. I shouldn't have said that.
That was funny, though.
But I don't think I actually beat it. In retrospect, I think I was getting second controller. Do you remember when you would give your sibling the second controller and actually play the game?
Yeah, and the second one was like unplugged next to the console
exactly,
where the wire was sitting underneath it or something.
It was just so funny because I realized that about 6 months ago. I was like, I totally fucking got second controller on that, and I did not beat the game, but in my head I did.
Well, shit, dude, I used to do that to my sister all the time on Sonic 2. She would get to play as Tails while I played as Sonic,
right.
And so, yeah, she would fly around and die and stuff, but she'd come back.
I mean, that's the ultimate second controller, but this was literally... My cousin was playing, she was building it up, she was gaslighting me into thinking I beat the game.
Absolutely.
Which started a lifelong obsession with this game, which is hysterical to me in hindsight. But I did. I love this game. On top of that, at the same time Mario 2 came out, the Nintendo Power first issue has a photo of Mario jumping away from Wart done in a claymation style. The people who did the California Raisins, which you probably don't remember, but in the
I do
80s,
remember
90s,
that actually. Yeah,
they were huge in commercials. And so that claymation style was kind of cool, and that's what's on the cover. And I looked for an issue of Nintendo Power 1 today, and it was like $200 online. I was like, fuck that.
Yikes.
But reading Nintendo Power when you were a kid, and I don't know if you read it, but in the 90s, that was huge because it was all about hype. Like the advertising hype machine was in full force. Even when you bought a game at the store on the ride home, you pull out the manual and read it.
Oh, yeah.
Because you couldn't play the game, until you got home, unless you had a Game Boy or whatever.
I used to do that with my Nintendo GameCube games on the ride home, is I'd actually pop it open and fuck, my Luigi's Mansion manual is like in pieces because I'd still, even at home, would flip through that and go, oh, look at all these cool ghosts. Those are so fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's what
and
I'm
it
saying.
gave you background story that the game didn't explicitly give you.
And that's the hype machine, man, and that's
Oh,
all
yeah.
part of it. And I think that plays into it, and just having the time to enjoy it, and then maybe the illusion of thinking I beat it, and then I got better and better at the game, and better and better. And now for me, like I say, playing Mario 2 is like taking a Xanax, which I would never take, but it's one of those things where it's like, it relaxes me completely. I can literally play it and just be like, oh, wow, just like everything's good in the world. And I can beat it in less than 10 minutes. I would say I'm
I was
going to
say, what's your fastest time on Mario 2? Because I've seen you do a billion speedruns of the same path through to the end.
I would say it's fast, but whenever I watch the speedrunners, and that's a big thing about this game too, is it is a speedrunning game. The secrets in this game are crazy. The fact that you can double jump off an enemy, I like, is absolute insanity, and I'll show it to you sometime. But basically, you glitch into half the block of their body, and you do this huge fucking jump off them. It's awesome what you can do with this game. But I really think that that's where my obsession begins with it, to the point where, like I said, it's still my favorite game. It just makes me happy. Seeing it, playing it, everything about it. Just like if I'm having a bad day and I'm like, man, I'll just go play some Mario 2 and relax. And then I do, and then I'm good. So it just brings me to a happy place, nostalgia, childhood. And as for, I love all the Mario games, 1, 2, and 3 and beyond. I would say up to Mario World, I know those games like the back of my hand. Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, that's where I fell off on that. Which is weird because that's the closest to Super Mario Bros. 2. You think I would like it, a lot. But at the same time, I never really got into it. Didn't have nostalgia for me. Nostalgia is powerful, and this game, I just dig it. It does it right.
It does it right.
Did you ever see that Bill Burr thing where he's talking about that guy? It's the cheaters thing, and like he gets caught cheating on the girl, and just out of nowhere, she's like, "You're cheating on me with this bitch," and he goes, "What can I say? She does it right." I'm like, that's how I feel about Super Mario Bros. 2. It does it right.
It does it right.
By the way, Jake knows that guy. His name's Scotty. He's actually friends with that guy.
Oh my god,
It's fucking great.
I think he did tell me that.
How about you, Ethan? What was your first interaction with Mario Bros. 2?
Honestly, I've kind of almost always avoided it like the plague until I met you.
Probably rightfully so. I don't know what to say.
I played it once when I was younger, and it's such a stark contrast from Mario 1 and 3 and so many of the other games that I was just confused by it. And now that I've gotten a little bit older and seen more of it played through, play a little bit of it myself, I definitely think it's a better game than I thought it was, but it's weird. It's such a different Mario Brothers. It's not just go from point A to B. There's all sorts of secret shit you can find and secret pathways. And fuck, watching you do your speed run, you've got that path, whatever it is that you take and do, down to a fucking science.
Oh, yeah. And you gotta do Peach.
It's
gotta be
art.
Peach. It's gotta be Peach. Everyone knows if you're speedrunning, Princess Peach, to the point where the speedrunning community, they really don't even allow Princess Peach runs anymore because it's so easy and everyone can beat the game in a decent amount of time.
Because it's so perfected.
Yeah. They want to see like Mario runs, Toad runs, Luigi runs, but Peach runs now. From an outsider's point of view, the game does seem weird. And from somebody who played maybe Mario 1 and then went to that, but going backwards because you have hindsight, when you saw the original trilogy, you would always look at that one and be like, I don't know.
I mean, you can't beat Mario 3 in my eyes. I mean, to me, of the original trilogy, the American trilogy, Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3, 3 is the best.
Yeah.
The overworld, the level design, the bosses, the power-ups, it's perfect. And I know a lot of the secrets on that one like the back of my hand, like you do with Mario Brothers 2. But, I don't know, something about 2 is just, maybe it was the turnips.
Yeah, it was definitely the turnips. It was 100%
It was just kind of like, why?
Well, let's talk about it. Let's get into it because I think the development of it is, and everyone kind of knows the story, so we'll go over it. And hopefully we'll be able to add something new to it or just enlighten you on this. So like I said, it was released here in America on October 9th, 1988. And they used Nintendo Power, like I said, to kind of promote it as a big game. Nintendo needed this game to work. Remember, 1983 was a video game crash. They're still dealing with that. People were saying there's no way you can release a home entertainment console. People don't like video games anymore. They don't want to play them. It's oversaturated. And Nintendo was killing it at first. And so they cannot afford to have a dud on their hands. So they promote this big time. But that's really the point behind the story that I'm about to tell. A lot of Americans didn't know that Mario 2 wasn't the original version of Super Mario Bros. 2. We ended up finding out later because we got a game for the Super Nintendo called Super Mario All-Stars. And in that, it had Mario 1, 2, and 3, but it also had a game called The Lost Levels. That's right. And we, at first, were just like, what the fuck is this? You know, like, oh, there's more Mario. And then you play it, and you're like, fuck this game. Everyone's reaction to The Lost Levels was, fuck this. When you first played it, how did you feel?
I actually haven't played through The Lost Levels.
Oh, bro.
So, or if I have, it was maybe once. But I don't remember it at all. Because I've always heard everyone say The Lost Levels is garbage.
Right, and that's how we actually ended up getting Mario 2, because in Nintendo of America's headquarters at the warehouse, there was a guy working there called Howard Phillips. And Howard Phillips was an early video game enthusiast, maybe the first Nintendo fanboy. And basically, as the games would come in, he would get to play some of them here and there. And the president of Nintendo of America, Minoru Arakawa, that was the son-in-law of Hiroshi Yamauchi, who actually brought Nintendo. He's third generation Nintendo president, right? Mm-hmm. It's his family company. He brings it up. He brings it to the video game age, because before that, it's a toy company. Sends his son-in-law over to America to oversee, Nintendo of America and bring it over here. Anyhow, he has Howard Phillips, and he trusts Howard Phillips' view on the games, basically. One day, Howard Phillips is going through the games there, and he sees all of a sudden Super Mario Bros. 2. Now, this is a sequel to the flagship title of the Nintendo Entertainment System. He's like, why didn't they tell me this is coming? Mm-hmm. So he puts it in. It's a Famicom disc. Slides that floppy bad boy in there, right? And starts playing the game. And right away gets killed by the poison mushroom. He's like, what the fuck? And as he plays through the game more and more, I like to think of Howard Phillips being like, what the fuck? But as he plays through the game more and more, he's like, this isn't fun. This is punishment. Why would they make this? Why would they make this game? It's not good.
They were probably thinking it was a continuation of 1. Like, if you had the skill set to beat Mario Brothers 1, then surely you'd be able to pick up 2 where you left off.
Right, and that's exactly what happened in Japan. So, I actually have a video online that I will link in the description where I did a review of Super Mario Bros. Versus the arcade game. And that game was created for the simple fact that they need to get some quarters. Now, most people in Japan have played Super Mario Bros. And beat it. So when they go to play the arcade game, they're introduced to, oh, it's Super Mario Bros. I can play this. I know this game. I bet you I beat this in 5 minutes. About halfway through the game, the levels start switching up hardcore. And those levels later in the game eventually became the levels that happened in Super Mario Bros. 2, The Lost Levels. So they took that game, Super Mario Bros. Versus the arcade cabinet, took those levels, saw that people were getting frustrated in the arcades, but they liked it. And they were making money off of it. And they're like, well, we can do this for the home game. Let's just take Super Mario Bros. And make it harder. And that's what they did. And Super Mario Bros. 2 is a fucking hard game. There's the poison mushrooms. There's long cliffs. There's decoy Bowsers. And it's frustrating. The Japanese love this. They wanted the challenge. But Howard Phillips, seeing the game, didn't get it because they're trying to win over here in America. The video game crash didn't happen in Japan, but it definitely happened here. And he went to the president of Nintendo of America and said, no, this is not good.
Yeah, you can't package and ship that.
No, you can't do this. And they were afraid. They're like, yeah, we can't. We're on thin ice here already. So what are we going to do?
It is so weird that that's the case then, because now there are games coming out that absolutely punish players like that or worse, and people fucking love them here in the States.
Absolutely.
Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne, whatever.
But that's one of the reasons.
It's insane.
You kind of have to look at how they were on thin ice, like I said. They were very afraid that they were going to lose the battle. Like, the arcades are dying. They've got competition at that time with Sega. They had Alex Kidd out. They did have the Sega Master System. They didn't want to lose that battle. And you got to remember, when Nintendo came out to America to release a console, no one thought it would work. They're like, video games are dead. No one wants to play them. That's why Rob the Robot exists, is because...
To sell it as a toy.
To sell it as a toy, exactly. Because they're like, no one's going to buy just a video game system. So they're like, no, it's not just a video game system. It's a toy. Look, you can get this robot
you get a cool little robot with it, but...
So, being on the fringe, they said, is there something we can do? So Nintendo Japan, they look at what they have, and they realize they have a game called Yume Kojo Doki Doki Panic, which is roughly translated to Dream Factory Heart-Pounding Panic. And so this game was actually a tie-in with a festival that happened in Japan. The festival itself was called Yume Kojo 87. Ethan, there's a wonderful video out there done by GTV Japan. This guy is awesome, where he actually talks about the festival. And he begins the video by saying, we've all heard about this Doki Doki Panic eventually becoming Super Mario Bros. 2, but what was the festival that it was tied to? That's the story, bro. Like, the video game thing's interesting. The festival itself is crazy, dude. It's like...
What did they do?
It was like a modern World's Fair in Japan. It took them 3.5 years to put together in cooperation with Fuji Television. So it was Fuji Television and all these people who just like, we want to have this festival that celebrates technology. And so for 3.5 years, they hyped it up through TV, advertisements, toys, and eventually this tie-in with Nintendo to make this game. And what the characters in the original Doki Doki Panic are, is they're just the mascots from this festival. So the mascots were a family. The son's name was Imagine, which is their version of imagine, like be creative.
Oh, har.
But this festival itself is about like technology and where it would go. And they had video games there. They had technologies there. They had big concerts there. They built it up. They had a giant blimp in there. It was just this giant event that lasted.
That sounds badass.
It lasted for 44 days. And it was just nuts. And
44 fucking days?
Dude, it was huge. I told you, it took 3.5 years. And when you watch the video, I'm telling you, GTV Japan, look this up. It looks like a happening. It looked like it was like the craziest event ever. Like I said, they were showing off video game technology. Sega had worked with another company to create this racetrack where you actually had like the cars that you were racing on the racetrack were actually in the monitor and stuff, kind of like Mario that's coming out soon.
Yeah, so the Mario Kart.
Yeah, they did this back in 87. There was another one where they had like a dating simulator where they had people do these punch cards and they could go in. They had like rows and rows of people doing this very, very novel version of Tinder. It's just nuts, man. Like all the technology they were showing there pretty much ended up happening. And what was beautiful was they opened it with a prayer. And they said, allow this festival to be safe and productive and that there be peace across the world. And so it was just like this crazy happening in Japan at the time. And out of it, we get, like I said, my favorite game. Because Doki Doki Panic, the characters were owned by the festival itself. But the game assets and everything in the game was owned by Nintendo. So Nintendo goes, well, we can't release, Mario 2. What can we do? Well, we have this game. We could just replace the characters.
Copy and paste Mario over into that.
And the development of it's actually interesting because the game most likely began as a Mario sequel. What they were trying to do is, most games at the time were horizontal. They were messing around with this prototype where things would go vertical. And so in Mario 2, you do see vertical levels, horizontal and vertical level design, I should say. And the other thing was the ability to pick up items and throw them along with the person that you're running around with. And the demo didn't work out great, but they wanted to reuse the assets of it. So they took that, made this game Doki Doki Panic, and eventually it turned back around to become a Mario game. But it was developed by the Mario team, including Shigeru Miyamoto at the time. So it possibly could have been the original Mario 2. They just went a different way.
And then came back around.
Came back around, exactly.
That is so weird, dude.
I'm just going to read the description of the game real quick to you.
Yeah.
The game takes place inside a storybook. The book's story tells of a dream world of Mu, where the quality of dreams determines the quality of the weather the next day. Because of this, the Mu citizens invented a dream machine so they could always have good dreams. One day, a mischievous being named Mamu, whose name was changed to Warp for the Super Mario Bros. 2 US release, invaded the land and used the dream machine to make nightmarish monsters. However, the Mu people learned of his weakness to vegetables and used them to defeat him. The old storybook had found its way into the hands of a pet monkey, Rusa, who gives the book to the young twins Pokey and Peaky. However, the twins quarrel and ended up ripping out the last page of the book, causing the ending to be erased. Mamu, freed, reaches through the pages and grabs the twins, pulling them into the book. Rusa gets the twins' parents, Mama and Papa, their brother, Imagine, and Imagine's girlfriend, Lena, and they enter the book to rescue them. So when you load up the Famicom Disk System floppy disk of the game, you see this cutscene real quick. You see the twins sitting there, you see the monkey running around the room, and you see them getting sucked into the book. That kind of plays into what they do with the storyline of the American version, too. But in the Japanese game, Doki Doki Panic, you play as the 4 characters, like I said, the parents, Imagine, and his girlfriend. And those characters eventually get transitioned over to our characters, of course, here, Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad. But the one thing that's interesting is, in the American version, you can just play the whole game through from level 1 through level 7. In the Famicom Disk version, you have to play each of the levels throughout the game with each of the 4 characters to get the good ending. So you have to beat the game over and over and over and over and over again. As somebody who loves Mario 2, that's cool. Somebody who doesn't, I don't know how they feel about it. I have played the Famicom Disk version. I enjoy it.
You would have to go through, 28 fucking levels across 4
well,
different characters.
It's 20 levels altogether in the game, but you have to do it 4 times.
So I thought you said there were 7 levels.
There's, alright, we'll get into that.
Yeah, whatever.
But that's the thing is, it's hard. It's hard, dude. As somebody who likes that game, it's hard to get through it. I'm not gonna lie.
I believe
it's really difficult. But like I said, the other thing that's interesting is in this festival is they had these masks. And that's why in the game you see a lot of masks and you see built into it. A lot of the assets also from Mario were put into the game because it was a celebration. And I'm like, well, we have Mario stuff. We can put in some music, some stars, some stuff like that. And boom. That's probably why it translated so easily to a Mario game, is because a lot of those assets were already in it. So eventually, like I said, Howard Phillips says it's not a good game. A couple months later, he receives a box on his desk with a note that says, if you replace the characters with Mario characters, will that make the American children happy? And he's like, I think so. So they did it. They ship it over. They do this time with Nintendo Power. Throw this bad boy out there. Boom. Mario 2. No one knows any of the wiser because we never had a Mario 2. We never had a sequel. We're just like, this is the next iteration of Mario. We didn't know any different than that. So the game itself lands in America. Huge fucking hit. 4th best-selling game on the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Damn.
Hey everyone, it's just Duck jumping in here real quick to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And with that, back to the podcast.
So what are the differences between the game? That's probably what you're wondering, right?
You mean between Doki Doki and Mario 2?
Yeah.
I mean, other than the art assets being flipped.
So basically, whenever Mario 2 comes to America, to kind of explain away what's going on and why it's so different, they have to give it a new storyline. I could read it verbatim out of the manual, which I'm holding right now. See how long it is? I'm not going to read it verbatim. It's way too long. So basically, Mario has a dream. And it's that he goes into this world of clouds and stuff like that, and he hears these voices saying, help us, save us, we're trapped. Mario wakes up the next day, goes on a picnic, he goes down to a cave while exploring, Alice in Wonderland style, goes to the top of a tall staircase and falls into the world of Subcon. That's why the game actually begins with you falling. Because Mario, right before that, had walked to the top of the stairs. As he opened it, much like Alice in Wonderland, falls into this new world.
I never realized that, but yeah, the game does start with the character drops down from the sky, and then boom, you're in level 1.
Right, that's exactly it. And when I was a kid, I mean, this is so long ago, I have a different memory of how that level was set up. You didn't fall like that. There was actually a mound of grass below that, one above it, and you just went in the door. And it's clear as day. I remember it looking that way. So whenever later in life, I was like, why didn't it look like that? It always fucked me up. I was just like, that doesn't make sense. But as you're little, I was probably 2 or 3. Like, I had no idea what I was looking at. But that was kind of their way to try to explain why it was different than the first game. To say, well, this is a dream scenario. And it's kind of funny that they did that because that's how they kind of explain away the big baddie of the game, which is Wart instead of Bowser. So in the second game, you don't get Bowser. You get this character named Wart who doesn't like his veggies. The game itself, it's pretty much the exact same level design-wise as the original Doki Doki Panic. What they changed were the sprites, some of the music. They updated a lot of the animations in the sprites, such as the cherries move now, the waves of grass. And they changed some of the items, such as the lamp, because the original game had a very Arabian Nights feel to it. They changed it to a potion. As you go through the game, like I said, you can play as one of the 4 main characters. And what sets them apart is each one has different attributes. And this might be one of the first games to actually provide that. If you don't count the lost levels. Because in the original Mario 2 game, Mario is faster, Luigi jumps higher. So, in this game, it kind of goes the same way. Mario is the well-rounded character. He can do pretty much everything at a medium pace. Luigi is slower, but he can jump way higher. Toad can't jump worth shit, but he is fast, and he can pick up the grass, if you will, quicker to get the vegetables. And Princess Peach, she is slow as fuck.
She can do that glide thing, though, right?
Yes, she's got the glide, and that's why everyone plays as Princess Peach, because it's basically a level hack. You can just go through the levels as quick as possible, because that floating, you can do it kind of with Luigi, too, but you kind of gotta get good, because he's kind of slippery with his movements. And that's what I'm saying, each of the players plays differently. Like, you can feel the control mechanics are completely different with them. And that's what's really cool is that you have the same game, but you have alternatives. This is probably the first version of that in a game where you can actually have attributes that affect how the avatar plays. That's what makes it so much fun, because it's fun to try out new people in different stages.
And it forces different play styles on you, too. You have to tackle the different issues of whatever level completely differently, because this guy might not be fast enough to clear them, but he's quick enough to, pick up the turnip and chuck it at him, or whatever the fuck you have to do.
Right. The big thing was when you're trying to get extra lives, you would want to pick Toad. Because you go into the upside down, I guess you would call it. Like, you drop the potion, it opens a door, you go in, and you're in like a subworld of Subcom. It literally is like a silhouette world. It's a reverse world.
Let me
It's
ask
the
you
upside
something
down.
about that real quick, though. Like, with the whole potions and the subworld and all that, is that something an average player would find on, like, say, their first or second playthrough? Because I see that, and it looks like you're doing very specific things to trigger that potion to appear, and you have to drop it in a specific spot, or a key to appear, or this or that.
The potion is just in one of the roots or the grass or whatever you would call it. You just pull it up. It is, though, specifically to the spot, because once you go into the subworld of Subcon, you cannot scroll anymore, and it reverses. So you have to know where to put that potion in relation to the screen so that you can get the mushroom. And every level has 2 mushrooms that you can find to get an extra hit point. You start out with 2 hit points. You can add 3 and 4. But yeah, you have to know where it is. Also, in the subworld is where you get your coins so that you can play the slot machine minigame at the end of the level. This game might also be the first game that ever introduced a minigame. I don't know if it is or not, but it seems like it is. I can't think of any other one at that time that introduces a minigame at the end of every stage.
Yeah, it's definitely the first Mario Brothers one to tackle that, because they didn't introduce that in 1 or the Lost Levels.
Right.
So, and it got really popular in Mario 3. And that was one of my favorite parts of it.
And I mean, that's one of the things that's weird about it too is, in Japan, pachinko machines are giant. In the States, gambling is not so popular.
It's legal?
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's kind of demonized, whereas they don't so much. So it's kind of cool, like, as your kid, be able to play, like, a slot machine. Because I remember, like, slot machines when I was a kid. I saw them once in a while, and I'd be like, oh, I want to touch it. And they're like, you're not allowed to touch it.
No, you have to be 18 to pull that lever down and waste your money. Okay, I'll just go waste my money on this claw machine instead.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll go use it on the plush machine over here instead. The other thing is, in the original Mario Brothers, you jumped on the Goombas, you jumped on the Koopas to defeat them. Here, you jump on top of one of the enemies, it don't do shit. So it's like, what do I do? Well, you gotta pick them up and throw them. And that's one of the biggest gameplay switches from that, is this game is no longer about, jumping on things and murdering them. It's about picking up things and throwing them at other people and murdering them.
That's probably what turned a lot of people off from it, and why people say it's the worst Mario Brothers game, because it doesn't carry over hardly any of the foundation Mario Brothers 1 laid. Jump on enemy and jump on enemy squash. Jump on enemy not dead. Why enemy not dead?
But for me, it works, because it becomes like a strategy to it. Like, you can take out 2 enemies at a time. You can get the POW block and take out, like, the whole fucking stage if you need to. And, like I said, for speedrunning, this game, I can beat Mario 1 pretty quick. This game, I can beat it way quicker. And that's because you learn to utilize the level design and the enemies to get through the stages.
Well, the mechanics in this game also carried over into future Mario Brothers titles, because I'm fairly certain in the original Mario Brothers 1, not any of the remakes, you couldn't pick up and hold any of the shells or anything like that.
No.
That started here. This was an iteration of it where you could do it in, like, 3 and so on and so forth. Pick it up, kick it towards an enemy. Right. Super Mario World style.
I mean, specifically, it happened with Bomb-Bombs. Or is it Bomb-Bombs?
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 Those.
Yes, the booms. That's where it starts, because you have to pick them up and kick them at pillars of rocks and bust those out. But that's a very specific thing to throw there. But then eventually in Mario 3, the bombs come back and the Koopa shells, you know what I mean? So yeah, you're right. There were things that were implemented here. A lot of the enemies appear here and end up in the later games, such as Shy Guys, Bombs, like we said, the Pokies. But Birdo is the biggest one.
That's what I don't get. Birdo's the boss at the end of most of these levels?
You're right. Birdo is the main boss, and you got to throw the eggs. By the way, have you ever heard Horse the Band, the song Birdo?
Huh.
I'm going to put it in here right now, because the chorus is, spit out your eggs. And it's just a guy going, spit out your eggs! It's a great fucking song. Punk core. It's a Nintendo core is what they call it. It came out years ago. You heard a snippet. Probably got copyrighted right there. It doesn't matter.
Any relation to, is it Metroid Metal?
No, but they do, like, video game songs left and right, dude. It's amazing. Like,
have you heard Metroid Metal?
Oh, fuck yeah. Are you kidding me?
Man.
I love Metroid Metal, dude. I watched them, like, systematically go from just starting that shit to actually releasing Various Suit. Like, and Various Suit, or whatever that shit's called, is an awesome album. Go listen.
So good.
But yeah, no, Birdo is the ending boss of each stage except for the third stage in every level. So in the game, there are 7 worlds, and the first 6 have 3 levels. The 7th world has only 2. Don't know why. Total of 20 stages altogether. And as you go across the world, there's variations. You got your normal tropical setting, you've got your frozen setting, you got your sand pits, and you've got waterfall levels, cloud levels. It's very diverse and interesting. And the mechanics go along with that. Like if you're in the frozen world, the levels are slippy and slidey. It's harder to gain traction. If you're in the desert, there's sand traps, there's quicksand,
Yeah,
everywhere.
they varied a lot more than just your regular Mario 1.
Yeah.
Underworld, underwater, overworld,
Right,
castle.
Because you're throwing in level hazards. It just changes the gameplay a lot, and it makes it funner. And nothing's better than picking up a shy guy and throwing him in the fucking quicksand, because their little feet kick up in the air, and it's evil as hell, dude. I love it so much. But so, like going through the stages, they're fun. But there's also warps. Like that's how you get through the game quicker. So instead of pipes in this game, there's actually, I guess, vases or vases or whatever you call it. You have to go into the subworld, jump on top of them, and then you actually warp. And there's different ones, so there's different ways to get toward at the end of the game. And that's what makes it really fun. Choose how you're going to speedrun this, or play it every stage through. Everyone is diverse and new and unique. It's just a fun fucking game, dude. It's so much fun to play. I was going to say about Birdo, though, too. Birdo might be the first trans video game character, or maybe the only one ever. Because in the manual, and that's actually why I have it pulled out, I want to read the description next to Birdo.
Okay.
Birdo. He thinks he is a girl and he spits eggs from his mouth. He'd rather be called Birdetta. I promise you that is what it says right there. Boom.
He thinks he's a girl and he spits eggs from his mouth. He'd rather be called Birdetta.
Now, that's kind of controversial to say first trans character, because trans people would say, I am a girl. But if this is 1987 and Birdo is questioning his gender, I would say he's probably a trans representation right there.
Yeah, I'd say it would fit.
Yeah,
why not?
I would say that Birdo, she is trans.
Yeah, it's like
interesting, right?
They kind of slid that under the
Why did they
the
do
radar
that,
there.
though? Like, why did they do that?
It's such an odd little detail,
Yeah.
but yeah.
That's so bizarre.
All right, Birdetta. You couldn't come up with a better name than Birdetta? Maybe Burgit?
In Japan, it's Catherine. So, I don't know.
Catherine.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
So, this game, so much fun. Like I said, I can beat it in less than 10 minutes. Every level, at the end of the level, has a different final boss. The first one is Mouser. The second one is Triclyde, which is 3-headed snake character. The third one is going to be the fire guy, which I can't think of his name right now. I think it's Fry Guy.
Why don't you open up the manual and read his name?
I think I will. It is. It's Fry Guy. I'm right. And then, I got so excited there. I apologize.
Oh my god, it was Fry Guy.
Fry Guy. And then you have to fight the Mouser again, Triclyde again, and then there's Claw Grip also, which is a giant crab, which actually in the Game Boy Advance version of the game is kind of cool. They actually insinuate that this crab creature is actually one of the original crab creatures from the Mario Brothers arcade game.
Yeah.
And then the last villain is Ward, of course. And Ward is probably the funnest battle in the game because you're in front of this dream machine that is kicking out different kinds of vegetables. You catch them and you have to chuck them in his mouth, basically, while it's open. It's such a fun battle. And that's what's great about this game is it's so diverse. It has so many different gameplay aspects to it. Once you beat the game, you release the subcons, which are the little creatures that were screaming for help in the beginning of the story. They come out, they give you a little applause. They carry a beat-up Ward across the thing. They beat the shit out of him a little bit more. We're all happy about that because violence is great. And then Mario wakes up from his dream. And at the end of the game, you actually hear one of the best themes. It's one of those things where you see, instead of the creators of the game or like any of the names, they do a roll call for all the characters in the game. And so everyone that goes through it, like you just see Mario sleeping, he's snoozing with a little cap, they're playing the do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And then all these characters start going through, so you see all the main characters and you start seeing all the enemies, and they name all the enemies as you go down. Only problem is they fuck up.
What'd they fuck up?
They fucked up Birdo and Ostro. Underneath Birdo it says Ostro, and underneath Ostro it says Birdo. It's hysterical.
My god.
And instead of Claw Grip, they call him Claw Glip. So I guess lost in translation. I don't know what happened here.
No, what probably happened is on the back end they flipped some variables or something.
Who knows? But it's still fun. And then Mario wakes up from his dream, goes back to sleep, and it says the end, and it just repeats on an infinite loop at that point. Game over, reset, start over, Duck's playing again. Love this game so much. It's so much fun. I can't do it enough justice, especially when I'm drinking, like, having a good time with Ethan. But at the same time, it's just like, this game is just so nostalgic. It's so much fun. I saw it on the Switch, Nintendo Library, or whatever they got on the Switch online thing. I'm like, I'm playing that. When you walked in earlier, what was that?
Yeah, you were playing Mario too, man.
I just love it, dude, so much.
So, like, why is it they haven't brought back Mort at all? This is the only game he's been in, right?
That's not true. He has been in another game.
Which other game has he been in?
Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening.
Really?
Yes, he is. He is a character who is a rapper who has written a song, and he wants you to hear his song.
Of course he is.
And if you listen to his song, you get a power-up of some sort. I can't remember. I was watching video of it today for the Switch version of the game. He's in it, too, and it's fucking cool, dude. But, like, that's the only other appearance of Ward in any other video game. And it's kind of cool because it's a dream world. Link's Awakening takes place in the dream world also. So is Wart the leader of a dream world in some way? Was he connected? Is that
Wart
universe?
seems like anytime the dream world comes into play, they're going to give him a nod then.
Right, so we need to get more dream world games. So why isn't he in Kirby? Because Kirby takes place in the dream world.
Kirby's in Dreamland.
You're right, that's a completely different place.
So, I don't know, maybe it's a different section of Dream World?
Man, that would be cool, though, if we brought him back. I would be so fucking pumped about that stuff. Super Mario Brothers 2, though, that's kind of a brief history and my love of the game. It's my favorite game of all time. Like I said, it just has a special place in my heart where it's so much fun to play. I love everything. I love the design of it. I love the graphics of it. I just love how you go through it. You can play it differently. You can play the whole game from level 1 to level 7-2 and just have a blast, or you can skip through it. You can speed run it. It's fun. It just makes me happy. And I can't explain it because, like, I get why everyone else is like, I don't think so. I'm good on this. But I'm over here going, like, it has a special place in my heart.
I see it, man.
It made me happy.
I see it.
And, I mean, on top of the fridge, I got the little cutouts, you know what I mean? In the bedroom, I've got the poster.
Well, I mean, the art style of the game alone is a huge leap from the true first two Mario Brothers. It looks leagues better. It's so cartoony. It's so joyful. It's so much fun. And then you
really
add
pops.
the unique gameplay on top of it. It's a unique Mario game. It's really well done.
And the music, Koji Kondo. Shit, dude, you don't even play the game and you know it. You know, bump, bump, ba-da.
Oh, I know it, yeah. That's one of the most iconic Mario songs.
I mean, it's just great. And that ending theme, dude, I'm telling you, it's beautiful. It's just an experience, man. And so, with that said, I mean, I gotta give it a rating, right?
Duck?
Yes, sir.
Duckster, dude.
Yes?
What would you rate Super Mario Brothers 2?
Fucking E rank. This game's a piece of shit!
Okay, podcast over. Thanks for coming to the...
No, it's S tier, bro. It's S tier all the way. S plus times plus billion. I love this game. But you have played it. So
I have played it.
You can give this a rank too. And be honest. You know,
I think it's a solid B.
A solid B?
It's a fun game.
Fuck you.
It's an... yeah, I know.
Explain why, though. Solid
It's a fun game. It's worth playing. It's worth owning. It's worth going back and enjoying, but...
It ain't no damn Mario 3 is what you're saying.
Mario 3 and Mario World, smoke it, dude.
Alright, question. Which is better, this or Super Mario Sunshine?
I think Super Mario Sunshine's amazing.
You're full of
So
shit.
I would
You're full
hands
of
down
shit.
take Sunshine over this. If I was stuck on an island and I could only have one Mario game of those two, I would take Sunshine.
You would only have sex with Mario Sunshine?
I've got the shine sprites.
Every scenario where you're stuck on an island, it's always like... Anyhow.
Mario 2 and Mario Sunshine.
I'll tell
Oh,
you
come
something,
here,
man.
Flood.
Yeah. Come here, Flood, you little bitch. Oh, I'm getting you wet. Well, no, I guess Flood will get you wet.
Oh my god.
No, alright. So, anyhow, B, that's fair. I'll give it to you. I'm going to give it an S+, but like I said, I understand that's nostalgia, and nostalgia is a powerful drug.
Oh, dude, nostalgia is... I mean, fuck, it got me to rate Sonic Adventure, the first one, I think an A or... Yeah, an A, while you only gave it like a C, I think.
I think that this game, like I said, I understand a lot of its nostalgia, but, you know, it's a happy place to go to for me, and I'll go there anytime. And be happy and drink and play that game, and also, I look like a badass playing it. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, you do. You sit down and go, alright, it's time for Mario 2. Duck walks into a room, instant crowd. They're sitting around watching him.
Yeah.
You could play this game blindfolded, I bet. You'd go, okay, and now here I'm at the part, I will get the key out of the vase, and then I'll go through the door. Oh, look, hey, Mort, I can't even see where you're shooting. I'm going to kick your ass. Okay, Mort, let's go.
You know what's weird is it's kind of true. It is like muscle memory. I would be curious to see how well I would do, but I think I would do better at Mario 1. Because as much as this one requires a little bit more pinpoint precision than Mario 1, because you have to go up And that's where I'd probably fuck up, going through the horizontal parts.
Mhm.
But Mario 1, I bet you I could play blindfolded for at least the first 2 levels and actually get pretty far.
I think I smell a video coming on.
I think I do too. But with that said, we appreciate you listening so much. Thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. This has been Duck. I've been here with
Dr. E.
And I got to remind you of one thing, though.
What did we forget, Duck?
I mean, you can never forget this.
I forgot. What did I forget?
You ain't Billy Mitchell, bitch.
Oh, God damn it.
So stop trying.
Okay.
Just stop.
Okay.
I will see you next time.
Next time.
And there it is. Thank you again so much for checking out the podcast today. If you enjoyed it, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, and iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcasts here on the We Are Podcast Network. We Are Air, where we talk movies, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. That's me, that's Jake, and that's Javi. We're breaking down that pop culture, and we're having so much fun. Heroes, Gyros, a Dungeons and Distractions side quest. Me and the boys were playing some D&D. You can start that one from Season 1, Episode 1. It's a blast the whole way through. And I Hate Being Sober. Personal stories from epic people. I sit down with some of my favorite people of all time. We talk about their trials, their tribulations, and their journey this far. And finally, our new live video podcast, Camp Slash Horrorcast, where we're going to have a roundtable discussion about our favorite horror movies. That'll be available on Twitch and YouTube, streaming every Monday at 8 p.m. Check the links in the description to find out what movies we'll be watching. Also, check the links in the description for our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast Network. With that said, thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. Please remember to support local comedy in any way that you can. We'll see you next time.